All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division talking about the reaction to Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz by Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Man, just got done watching the Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz fight. Let me tell you, what a stinker. 100%, what a stinker. But I don't blame Teofimo Lopez for it. I blame Jermaine Ortiz. Because Jermaine Ortiz basically set up with the way that he fought to get a moral victory by not trying to go out there and do something serious to Teofimo Lopez. So as a result of moving around, he winds up getting a wide decision loss in a fight where he was close and could have won every round in the fight. Gervonta Davis reacts to it. Devin Haney reacts to it. Shakur Stevenson reacts to it. And a whole lot of other people react to it. Many people are crying robbery. I did a video about that. Look, man, it's robbery in the sense like if you put $100 bills in your hand and walk into a homeless shelter in the middle of the night and somebody beats you upside the head and takes your money, that type of robbery, like you brought it on yourself type of robbery. Man, you got to go out there and get that guy, get that championship against that dude. Okay? Moral victories ain't spending nothing. But Gervonta Davis's reaction was hilarious because he put this face up, this emoji, not emoji, a GIF up, where there's a guy looking at the screen like, turn it like in the middle of the fight, like, man, this is terrible. You had Devin Haney, of course, that says he's the king of the 140-pound division for no good reason at all. As if there's not a Sabril Matias there too. I mean, I guess I won't say Rolly or Isaac Cruz, but you know. And Teofimo Lopez actually won the fight. So whatever it is, he got the decision. Just like Devin Haney got the decision against Vasily Lomachenko, and a bunch of people thought he lost. So I'm looking at it like, man, this is hilarious because this is what I mean by this. And I'm being straight to the cuff with you. That's why Gervonta Davis is the guy that is bringing in the most money into his fights. Because with Gervonta, you never have to sit through an evening like that. You never have to spend half the fight on your phone, on Twitter, like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that was a boring round. This guy's running. This guy's running around the ring. Oh, Teo's not coming off the ring, cutting up. You don't have to spend any of your time in those fights complaining about that stuff. Okay, just like you didn't have to complain about it with Mike Tyson. You didn't have to really complain about it with Oscar De La Hoya. You really don't have to complain about it with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and most of his fights. Some of them, you probably could do that later in his career, but after he had already established himself. These guys cannot afford, if they're going to say that they're the big attractions, in order to be the big attraction, Teo needs to put something on that's attractive. In order to be the attraction, Shakur Stevenson has to fight in a way that is attractive. Devin Haney, in order to be the attraction, you have to fight in a way that is attractive. You can't just say, oh, I won, I boxed him. Oh, yeah, I'm the big star. No, because you're going to have an evening like this where everybody is sitting up there like, what a terrible fight. And many people are going to say Jermaine Ortiz got robbed, but nobody, I mean, nobody is going to go back and watch that fight again. Okay? Maybe Jermaine Ortiz's parents and his coach will go back and watch that. Maybe Teofimo Lopez and his dad will go back and rewatch that. But other than somebody preparing for a fight against them, nobody's going to be like, man, you remember that fight with Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz? Man, do you remember that fight between, do you remember that snoozer between Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos? Or do you remember that fight between Devin Haney and Regis Prograis? No, I don't really remember it. Do you remember any real sensation that you got from that? Not really. What about the fights with Mike Tyson? What about the fights where the guy goes out there, fights, gets a knockout, makes it exciting? Man, the highlight of the evening was Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason was the highlight of the evening. And Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis, actually, I saw some holes in his game, but still, it is what it is. He did what he needed to do. Congratulations to Keyshawn Davis. But man, look, no joke. None of these dudes can consistently put on a good show. T.O. cannot consistently put on a good show. Devin cannot consistently put on a good show. And neither has Shakur Stevenson, right? No, these guys, only guys that are consistently, and you may hate that I say this, but the guys that are consistently putting on good shows are Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. The Edward Duarte fight. Edward Duarte, even though he was doing all that real janky Floyd Mayweather Jr. impersonation, what's his name? Duarte, the guy that he fought, wound up getting knocked out. Okay, you can complain about Gervonta like, oh, this guy's winning the fight. Boom, and you can run his highlight reel. Look, man, if we're going to talk about fighters being superstars and the king of this and the king of that, man, Teofimo Lopez got to do better than that. Period. He got to do better than that. So you got Shakur criticizing his performance, Devin criticizing his performance, Gervonta criticizing his performance. I haven't seen Ryan Garcia, but I'm sure he will too, like a bunch of people will. The only problem is everybody's doing the same thing after every fight for Shakur. I mean, after that last fight for Shakur, doing that for the fight before last with Devin and other fights before that. Man, y'all gotta put on better fights, man. Now, the more I watch boxing, the more I understand, man. Look, yes, there is a sweet science, and yes, that is important, without a doubt. But man, ain't nothing like a knockout. Ain't nothing like dominating your fighter like Terrence Crawford does, like Errol Spence Jr. has done, like Deontay Wilder's done, like Canelo Alvarez has done. You got to dominate these dudes in a way where you don't have anybody that can question it. But every once in a while, you're going to run into a guy like Jermaine Ortiz or Karen Kukadajian that is just going to run all over the ring. So during the times, preparing for the times that may happen, when you got somebody in there that you know you can get rid of, you may want to do it so you can at least give some people some good memories, right? Teofimo Lopez has stunk up the gym. One, Kambosos, Sandor Martin, and now Jermaine Ortiz. That is 3 out of the last 4 fights that were stinkers. Brother, that ain't gonna handle it. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.